I have 9 early season fantasy football trends for you guys today that we're going to determine if they are real or fake, and hopefully just learn a couple of cool things along the way. As always, it's a great day to be great. Let's get after it. First up, Justin Fields is not running the ball like last year, especially in terms of design runs. The scramble rate isn't great either. Last year we saw this pushing north of 15%. Now we're closer to 9%. But guys, the real concern here, especially in fantasy football land, is the fact that Justin Fields has just 4 designed rush attempts through 2 weeks of action. Friendly reminder that this is the same quarterback that ran for 1,143 rushing yards last year, the second highest single season total at the position in NFL freaking history. I get it, Bears fans and Fields fantasy managers, it would have been a hell of a lot better if we saw Fields demonstrate more upside as a passer to this point. That said, offensive coordinator Luke Getsy's refusal to really unleash the single best part of Fields' game has been terrible to watch through 2 weeks of action. At the end of the day though, guys, I am going to go ahead and call this fake. This would hardly be the first time we saw an NFL offense really try to open things up in the early going before realizing they are a bit out of their element. So expect Fields to really start picking things up on the ground sooner rather than later. We'll see if some passing upside comes hand in hand with that, but so far, not looking good. Trend number 2, this Patrick Mahomes-led Chiefs passing attack and offense as a whole, honestly, has been pretty mid thus far in 2023. Consider this, in 2018, 2019, and 2020 combined, just 2 times did this Chiefs offense fail to score more than 20 points. Guys, through 2 weeks of 2023, we have not seen them eclipse 20 points even once. It's not hard to find a statistic that paints this worrying picture much more clearly. Last season, this Chiefs offense created the second highest rate of explosive pass plays through the air. This year, they ranked 15th. Last year, this was the 5th best offense in terms of targeting receivers that PFF considered open or wide open. This year, they ranked 17th. Not great all around, but I think a little more context can go and show us that this trend is indeed fake. We all saw Kadarius Toney completely shit the bed on Thursday Night Football to start the season, and even last week, while we did get 1 touchdown to Travis Kelce, he did objectively drop another one that should have put 6 points on the board later in that contest. So yes, slow start. Mahomes has career low efficiency numbers pretty much across the board, but I am calling this one fake. Don't be surprised if we see his Chiefs offense with a y'all must have forgot performance this Sunday against the Bears. Trend number 3, the Rams are suddenly the best offense in all of fantasy football. This is seriously crazy, guys. Right now, Puka Nacua is on pace for over 2,200 receiving yards, more like Puka Nacooper Cup, am I right? All right, sorry. Tutu Atwell is on pace for over 1,600 receiving yards. Kyren Williams is on pace for 34 total touchdowns, and Matthew Stafford is on pace to absolutely breeze by the 5,000-yard passing mark. What is going on in Los Angeles? Look, I'm going to have to go with fake in terms of those numbers not quite being reached when this season is all said and done with. That said, the idea that we can now get some fantasy excellence in Los Angeles is very much real, and I feel so much more confident about that after seeing this offense rack up 386 total yards against a 49ers defense that many still understandably consider the best unit in all of football. That yardage mark, San Francisco only gave up more than that in 2 of 20 games last season. So yes, we could see a new free agent running back come in to potentially replace Cam Akers if he's traded. And once Cooper Kupp comes back into the picture, that will mess up the target distribution to Puka and Tutu just a little bit. But guys, with Stafford cooking like this, don't be surprised if Sean McVay and company continue to light up scoreboards throughout 2023. Trend number 4, Jamar Chase has 10 catches for 70 scoreless yards through 2 weeks of action. Guys, this Bengals offense has been absolutely miserable to start the season, undoubtedly in large part because of Joe Burrow's calf injury. Either way though, this unit is 28th in EPA per play and EPA per pass play, and dead ass last in yards per pass attempt and yards per play as a whole. In this whole situation, it'd be a lot easier to just say, hey, bad 2 weeks, no problem, this is fake, if we didn't have this ongoing calf problem to worry about. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport said that Joe Burrow will not be close to 100% for quite some time, leading us to have to potentially imagine a reality where something named Jake Browning is the Bengals starting quarterback. So here, for Jamar Chase, I'm going to go with fake in terms of, come on, guys. He will score a touchdown at some point, and he will put together some big games. But I am going to go with real in terms of this Bengals offense not quite being the juggernaut that we were expecting this year, at least until we see a healthier version of number 9 under center in Cincinnati. Trend number 5, Buccaneers country is baking, baby. I know, against bad competition. So far, Baker Mayfield and company have played the Vikings and the Bears, 2 reigning bottom 5 defenses in terms of scoring last season. But that said, everyone, you gotta give some credit where credit is due. And right now, this Mike Evans and Chris Godwin-led passing attack is up there with the best in the league in a variety of efficiency metrics. I'm talking about EPA per dropback, CPOE, PFF passing grade, adjusted completion rate, yards per attempt, passer rating, you name it, and Baker Mayfield has legit been a top 10 quarterback through the first 120 minutes of 2023. So is this real or fake? I'm going to take the easy way out and go with a bit of a middle answer here, because on the one hand, guys, having Chris Godwin, having Mike Evans, it does make sense we're seeing some of the better football of Baker's career right now, especially when combined with a smart scheme that boasts top 10 rates in play action and no huddle through 120 minutes of action. On the other hand, though, those defenses are admittedly pretty weak, and we have seen more bad than good out of Baker since 2018. So pump the brakes just a little bit on crowning the Buccaneers as a 2023 version of those 2022 Seahawks, but still a major W for an offense that is a hell of a lot better than anyone imagined just a few weeks ago. Trend number 6, this Jaguars offense has been really mid through 2 weeks. Seriously, guys, we have the Steelers, we have the Jets, and sadly, we have the Jaguars as the 3 worst offenses when looking at a combination of EPA per pass play and EPA per rush. Week 1's 31-point effort against the Colts was a bit inflated due to the reality that the Jaguars had awfully good field position on all 4 of their touchdown drives, while Week 2's home matchup against the Chiefs didn't even yield a single touchdown for Trevor Lawrence and company. All that to say, guys, I think this is 100% fake. Last week in particular, there was not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 specific instances of Trevor Lawrence getting the football to his pass catcher in the end zone, only for them to unfortunately get just 1 foot down. So again, not the greatest start in the season by any stretch of the imagination, but honestly, my biggest concern was this offensive line's ability to pass block for Trevor Lawrence, and the fact that they have posted the 4th lowest pressure rate through 2 weeks is a major W in terms of that. So don't be surprised if Week 3's effort against the Houston Texans starts bringing to life some more of those fireworks that we were expecting from the beginning. Trend number 7, Tua and company are absolutely lethal. The NFL's leader in passing yards and yards per attempt. Nobody is stopping Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and this Mike McDaniel-led offense through 2 weeks of action. And I'm not so sure it's going to stop, guys, in large part because of Tua's ability to keep pressing defenses downfield while getting the football out faster than pretty much any quarterback in the NFL. Consider, he's only been hit 4 times this season after 120 minutes of football. So I do expect a bit more pressure along the way once defenses figure things out just a little bit more. But kudos to McDaniel for utilizing the single highest rate of pre-snap motion or shifts in the NFL. So I'm going to have to ride with real for the time being. This attack is loaded. Don't be surprised if we continue to see all sorts of fantasy points coming out of Miami. Trend number 8, Josh Jacobs is having a really rough go of things on the ground. And speaking of 8, Jacobs' New Jersey number, he still doesn't have a carry longer than 7 yards this season. Maybe one day he'll manage to break that streak. But in all seriousness, guys, really has been rough for this, honestly, entire Raiders offense. While we could blame Jimmy Garoppolo not exactly having the same arm strength as Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs' rate of carries with 8+ defenders in the box has only gone up from 21% to 25% this season. In reality, I think it's more of an issue with an offensive line that has dropped from 14th to 20th in yards before contact per carry, and Jacobs himself, who is the league's third worst running back in terms of percentage of carries to have at least 2 yards after contact. Ultimately though, guys, I'm going to have to go with fake on this one. The utilization numbers remain borderline erotic for Jacobs. He still very much profiles as one of the true remaining workhorse running backs in football. We just need to get maybe a few better matchups because, let's face it, road trips to Denver and Buffalo to start the season, hardly ideal. So no, probably not going to be clearing 2,000 total yards again in 2023, but Jacobs is a prime buy low candidate right now because better days are assuredly ahead if he keeps on getting fed this sort of usage. And finally, trend number 9, the Bills are letting James cook. Sorry, I had to. But seriously, guys, the second-year running back is making the absolute most out of his opportunities so far this year, posting top 10 numbers in yards per carry, yards per route run, missed tackles forced per carry, and even yards after contact per carry. You put it all together, and Cook is on pace for 315 touches and 1,887 total yards and 0 touchdowns because Damien Harris and Latavius Murray have been major vultures inside the 5-yard line through these first 2 games. So yes, I get it, that part of the equation is annoying, but I'm still going to have to say, guys, that Cook's status as an upside RB2 in fantasy land is very much real. Beggars can't be choosers, and we're talking about a young, explosive, pass-catching back that is looking at 15-plus combined carries and targets on a weekly basis and an ever-lethal Josh Allen-led passing attack. You cannot show me a fantasy football lineup that should not have James Cook starting in it, unless you're in one of those 6 or 8 team leagues. Not that there's anything wrong with that. All right, guys, that's enough for today, but I appreciate you hanging out. Let me know in the comments where you think maybe I'm wrong in my real or fake prediction and any other trends that you've been particularly enamored by through these first 2 weeks. Again, great day to be great. Best of luck in week 3 and beyond. Don't be afraid to go win some fantasy matchups.